met, my friends. Nexi is here. I know it's not a Warcraft video, but this is going to be a little project slash series that I really want to do. So we're going to go to single player here, load up my Sorceress, and I'll get into what I want to do. So, recently I noticed in the last couple months, the Diablo 2 community has been rising quite a lot, kind of making a comeback, and it's kind of encouraged me to come back and start playing more often outside of the first few days of a ladder reset. And on top of that, I kind of want to throw something different on my channel. And what I'm doing here basically is a little magic find project where I'm going to magic find in specific areas, say 100 runs in a specific area or a specific boss, and I'm going to calculate and see exactly how good that area is compared to other areas. So currently I'm level 56, just killed Nightmare Bale. And as you guys can see here, I am in Nightmare. So what I'm going to do, for example, here is, since I'm only level 56, I'm going to start with Nightmare first. Usually normal is not worth magic finding at all. Maybe near the end, if you guys want to see what normal magic finding is like, I can do that. But I'm going to start with Nightmare and then Hell later on in this little project. So for example, I might do I don't know, Nightmare Cows first. I'll run 100 Nightmare Cow runs, see what I get from that, do a different area like the Tower, Bloodraven, the Mausoleum, and the Crypt, which are by Bloodraven, things like that. I'm curious to see the different areas of this game and how effective it can be with magic finding. So I'm going to show you guys here what I'm doing currently with my build. I do want to show you guys my gear, so whenever we go through the series at some point, you guys can always come back to this video and you will see exactly where I started. So I basically rushed over to Nightmare Bale, killed Nightmare Bale, so I'm now in Hell Act 1, and I'm level 56, and I will show you guys my gear. So my gear currently is just a spectral shard. So one thing I definitely need to work towards is getting a spirit sword. Now the easiest way is probably to farm Nightmare Cows, so hopefully I will start that part of the series early so I can get that spirit sword. At the moment though, this is a pretty amazing drop for the faster cast rate. The mana and resistances are quite nice as well, but it's mostly great for teleporting to where I need to go when I do this series. Additionally, I found a Wall of the Eyeless, which is very nice for the 20% faster cast rate for the same reason. So what I will be doing basically is using these two items together to teleport really quickly, just like that. I will be able to get to the boss or location very swiftly, and once I'm about to basically magic find, I'm going to weapon swap over to this Gull, which I found in normal. This is the first time I've ever seen a Gull this early into a character. Usually in a ladder reset, I don't get this much kind of luck, but the fact I found a Gull really shows that this is going to be a very interesting series. So I have the Gull. I made a rhyme just recently in Nightmare for the extra 25 magic find. The resistances are pretty nice as well. So for example, when I get to Mephisto or Andariel or magic finding in the pit, I will use this weapon and this shield together so I can have that additional magic find. As you guys can see here, I have 308%, which is a lot considering this is early into a character's progression. Now, in terms of my helmet, until I get something like a Shaco or something like that, I'm going to be using the triple perfect topaz helmet. Especially in Nightmare here, where I'm starting a Nightmare for this series, you don't really need to have a lot of gear. So I can take advantage of this and stack magic find, as you guys can see. Additionally, with my armor, I have a stealth. At some point when I get enough perfect topazes, as you guys can see right here, once I get some more, I will probably make a 3 or 4 perfect topaz armor, and that will give me a lot more magic find and will allow me to, get better gear in terms of my gloves or boots, because currently I'm sacrificing some stats for the magic find on these gloves, for example, or this ring, or this other ring, or these boots. So as you can see, I'm stacking as much magic find as possible, and I'm getting a little bit of resistances here and there to help keep me alive without getting a one-shot. You don't need the best gear possible. Now, I got really lucky and I actually gambled this amulet here. Usually I'll gamble once in a while because you can get magic find items pretty easily in Nightmare and Hell. So I gambled this pretty decent necklace here. Unfortunately, not sorceress skills, but the magic find, the resistances, the cast rate, the life, it's absolutely amazing. Very good start to this character's progression. So overall, that's basically my gear. It's just, basic resistances, mostly magic find. Normally, you probably won't find a goal this early, but usually you'll have something around this if you're aiming towards it. You want a stealth early, you want a perfect topaz helmet early, you want a rhyme early. Everything else, hopefully you can get lucky with either resistances, like these boots, maybe with Magic Find on top of it, or, you know, just something that you can wear for resistances. Like, for example, here, what I was using previously were Blood Fist, so they're not exactly Magic Find items or armor or gloves, whatever. It's basically just life and hit recovery, which is very nice for teleporting around and, you know, just surviving. So you can go with something like this if you're lucky, but because I have Magic Find gloves, I'm preferring to go with those in Nightmare. In Hell mode, I might have to replace some of this with something else. And as you can see here, I basically have some rings here, like Castrate, Resistances, Mana. If I choose not to stack the Magic Find through this in terms of the rings, I can just replace them with better rings if I want to lose some of this Magic Find, which won't be too bad. Additionally, I found an Eye of It Lich, but I do want the Magic Find and the Castrate, plus the life helps as well, so sacrificing a 1-2 skills for all of these benefits is worth it in my opinion. In terms of over here, they're just, you know, basic armor that I'm saving, nothing too special. 3 War Cries, 2 Elemental, 3 Fire skills. If I choose to go Fire, I can use this instead, but I do prefer the 28 Magic Find. So overall, just some random items. We'll take a look at some of my runes here, you know, just some basic runes, nothing too great yet. I could make an insight currently with or this polearm, I should say. I thought this was 4-socket. This Partisan, I can use this as an insight for my Mercenary, but first I need to get a Soul Rune. So hopefully when I do 100 Countess runs or whatever in this experiment, I will get a Soul Rune from that, and I should be able to. And I also need to have a Tier Rune for that as well. So those are my runes. In terms of gems, not too much. I haven't really been collecting until recently. I'm too lazy to pick up, you know, the chipped gems. I'm mostly focused on the topazes for the early helmet and armor. Other than that, we have a couple of socketed armors here. We got 2 shields, not really going to use them at this point since I have a rhyme. I do have a 3-socket armor in case I choose to make something like a treachery for my mercenary. I have a 2-socket circlet if I want to make an Ort Soul for the 1-to-all skills lightning resistances, but personally, the Death Mask is a lot better. Additionally, there's the polearms. We have a couple of uniques here, as you can see. I've already been collecting some of the uniques. As you can see here, kind of trying to OCD it with the order, you know, one-handed swords from normal, one-handed swords from Nightmare, one-handed swords from Hell, and then we move on to two-handed swords, and, you know, it keeps going 3 different tiers per class, and then we go up, there's my axes. So I kind of, like, organized it. That's basically what I'm at currently in terms of my gear. Still working on some sets here. Oh yeah, you guys are going to freak out about this. I found an IK helmet in Nightmare, and I found a Tal wand in Nightmare as well. I think I found this off, where was it again? I think it was Maggot Lair. I can't remember where I found this actually, but the item level is 59. It's definitely from Nightmare. I can't remember because I did all this the other day there, but I found these 2. Absolutely amazing start. I just need to find the other Tal pieces. I found a Tal amulet in normal cows the other day on my other sorceress, but that was on BattleNet, not here. So unfortunately, not good enough, but still pretty decent. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of my character's progression. So overall, that's my character's progression starting at the beginning of this project. In terms of my current build, I'm going full Frozen Orb. The reason for this is because in Nightmare, there aren't really any immunities, not a whole lot, so I'd rather maximize on my AoE damage for when I go and do cows or the pit or anything of that sort. Frozen Orb should be fine, but when I go into Hell, I will be setting up my build for something else, maybe Fireball, Frozen Orb, something like that. But for now, Nightmare is pretty easy with the lack of immunities. I do have 11 points into Static Field, so I can safely Static Field from a distance on the bosses. It makes it a little easier to survive, so I don't have to really spend money on potions and whatnot. And then, like I said, with Frozen Orb, that's basically my build. Everything's in Strength and Dex to wear my gear. The rest is into Vitality. Those are my stats. Let's take a look at my next page here. 308% Magic Find, and then 35% faster cast rate without switching. It goes up to 105 here, thanks to the Spectral Shard and Wall of the Eyeless giving 70%. So pretty amazing there to have that fast cast rate to teleport quickly, switch over to Magic Find, and then kill the bosses and Magic Find. So overall, those are my stats. I hope you guys do enjoy this beginning of my series of magic finding project. I will be starting with something pretty early. Let's take a look first. I'm probably going to do with Countess or cows first. I'm thinking cows. That way I can get my Spirit Sword pretty early. Even though I do like the Gull, I should probably get a Spirit Sword pretty quickly. So we'll see when that comes up. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope you guys enjoy the upcoming series, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye, guys.